Did you know that saving and investing has a sort of yin and yang kind of relationship? It's true, and understanding that is a huge component to running a successful financial platform. Knowing what to save and what to find investment opportunities for, though, can be pretty difficult at times, at least in the moment, and learning how to improve that skill can be kind of hard sometimes. The secret to building wealth depends on knowing when to pull the trigger and when to ease up, which is why today we are going to break it all down and show you some ways to figure out just exactly when to save and when to invest. Enjoy, and make sure you stick around until the end of the video for some of our most useful advice. Number 1. Don't get frozen by savings. A major problem that people fall into is that saving is so much easier than investing, at least for the average human being. Saving is about as passive as you can get with your money, and every time you save up, the possibilities to what it can amount to can seem endless. Saving carries almost no risk at all, but ensures that your future will be a wealthier one than your past. This can be scary for people, however, as at some point they have to actually do something with all the savings they have accumulated. If you haven't invested at all, you may find it easier just to kick that whole aspect of things down the road just a little longer. But that decision could be a costly one. Not investing is fine when you are broke or when times are tough, but when you have a perfectly good savings account raking in more and more cash daily, you're doing yourself a disservice by doing nothing. Start building up your investments just as you did with your savings as soon as you can, and don't worry too much about slipping up or making a bad investment every once in a while. Number 2. Don't invest in things you care a lot about. Investing isn't usually something taught in school, and so many people try and do it without any education or knowledge on the subject. Sometimes this leads to a tremendous amount of money via dumb luck, but usually it results in a lot of frustration and money getting sucked out of your savings account. We know that we said mistakes happen in the last entry and not to worry too much about them, but that doesn't mean that you should just be doing careless or ignorant things with your investing either. Above all, try not to invest in things that you love a great deal or care a lot about, as this can make it hard to make rational decisions regarding that investment down the line. This goes for stocks and bonds too, as we have all seen what happens when you invest in something purely based off of an enjoyment for the product. Number 3. Investments can turn into more savings. Sometimes you're going to have to move backwards in order to move forward, and sometimes you're going to have to just accept that things are how they are. When you invest, there is the potential to get money, of course, but only because there is also the risk of losing the money you put in too. Investments can feel like gambling at times, and there is definitely a case to be made for treating it like that too. Despite the inherent risk of making an investment, you also have to understand the relationship between the savings account and your investments too. Without an initial amount of savings, you could never invest in the first place. But once your investments succeed, some of that money should go back into your savings. Doing this sort of thing ensures that your savings account keeps growing and also establishes a healthy relationship between you and your investment portfolio. The better you do, the more money that goes back into your savings, and so you shouldn't have to stress too much about the missed opportunities. Number 4. Sometimes it's better to have invested and lost. When it comes to the world of finance, there is so much out of our control. But it always seems like the people who are best equipped to make money have a natural sort of play to them when it comes to their investments. When you gather enough savings, you may start to notice just how powerful your investment portfolio is starting to become, along with it. These two accounts are pretty interconnected, and so it's no surprise at all that this is happening. But it is going to lead to some pretty new and interesting interaction. One of which is going to be the calculated risk type of investment that you may want to start doing in order to make a lot of money fast. When money is tight, these kinds of risks can be too much, and the pressure they put on your finances makes them unworthy of your time and money. But when things are going smoothly, it's sometimes worth taking a shot every once in a while. These higher risk investments shouldn't make up much of your portfolio, but they can definitely spice things up and lead to some big moments. Number 5. The goal is to maintain, not grow. We'll get to that in a second. I have a favor to ask of you. If you like this video so far, please subscribe to the channel. When we are first starting out, it can be hard to imagine that we would ever want to stop making huge amounts of money at a time, but you just may get to this point yourself too after a while. The thing is, it's not about making money, but rather about properly holding on to it and ensuring it will still be there in the future. money can feel pretty sturdy. But anyone that's old enough will tell you just how quickly money can leave you during tough times. Whenever you take a big picture look at your portfolio, especially after you've amassed some nice investments and a solid amount of savings, you should try and see things in a conservative light. Yes, it's great that all the work you've put into building your wealth up has gone well, but that's only half of the equation. Nobody wants to work themselves to the bone constantly, and so now it's time to shore up your defenses and make sure that money stays in your account. Take calculated risks, of course, but don't get stupid with your assets just because you have stupid money now. Play things safe and remember that maintaining your wealth is as important, if not even more important, than growing it. Number 6, don't get bogged down in the details. A good rule of thumb when it comes to long-term savings is to take a long view of things whenever possible, and don't get bogged down in the details. You want to be on the ball to an extent and make sure everything is running smoothly as much as possible, but you also don't want to lose track of your priorities because you've begun micromanaging everything. Investing and saving both takes solid leadership skills, even if the only person you are in control of is yourself, and you have to be able to make hard decisions all the time. With all this pressure on your shoulders, you would be better off steering the ship and not worry about logistical problems. Running a successful portfolio takes patience, as well as an understanding that success comes little by little, but hovering close by your assets and trying to will them to greater profits isn't anything but a waste of your time. Number 7, keep an ear close to the ground. Saving is fun because the stakes are low and you don't really win or lose anything. Seeing your bank account grow over time is also a great form of motivation, and you should be proud of the progress you've made. Once you've made it to investing, though, you kind of lose out on the luxury of being entirely in your own lane and are forced to either work with or around other investors like yourself. This is a pretty jarring development for many hopeful investors, as suddenly the financial space has gone from completely secluded to pretty crowded. Don't worry though, as this is all just a part of the investment game, and to get the most out of it, you should actually try and work with others. Even just talking to other investors and like-minded individuals can give you a leg up on the competition, and your friendliness can potentially result in a huge payday or tip. Number 8, make every decision your own and be able to stand behind it. As much as people can be great for investments, and they sure can make it a whole lot of fun, they are not in charge of your portfolio. If you are listening to others over yourself, you're taking a big risk with your savings, and at the end of the day, only you really lose out. Talk is cheap, as they say, and even if the person is important, they may not know what is best for you. You don't want to get into the habit of trusting your savings money to people that won't care whether the amount grows or plummets to nothing, and for better or worse, you are the only person who really and truly cares about your investments. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you will start to trust yourself over other people. And that's when you can really start to make decisions you can be proud of. Number 9, if you want to make serious money, get serious about investing. If there was a tool you could use to achieve your dream, why would you not use it? That's a lot like how people should view investing too, since it's such an easy and sure-fire way to grow your wealth in a hurry. The best part of investing is that it shouldn't keep you away from anything in your life, as it can easily slot between times at work or with the family. When you make the choice to invest, you are creating a better future for yourself, and one that may save you from having to work a job you don't like later on down the road. If you're really serious about making money, you should try to get into the investment side of things as soon as possible, and then you can really start to turn time into money. What's your dynamic when it comes to saving V's? Investing? Let us know you balance it down in the comments below. If you liked the video, please leave a like for us, and if you haven't subscribed, now would be a great time to do that too.